欢迎各位莅临由金管会所主办的第12届台北公司治理论坛。Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to join us at 2018 Taipei Corporate Governance Forum, hosted by the Financial Supervisory Commission of Taiwan. 今天非常荣幸能够与各位贵宾以及专家先进齐聚一堂，共同来探讨本次论坛的4大主题：公司治理更宽广的道路、亚洲公司治理的新方向、健全的公司治理生态体系，以及董事职能提升和选择的合理化。It's a great honor to be gathered here with so many distinguished guests and speakers to address the 4 main themes of the forum: the evolving landscape of corporate governance, the new direction of Asian corporate governance, corporate governance ecosystem and board function and responsibility. 论坛一开始，让我们首先邀请金管会的顾立雄主委上台致开幕词。To begin with, please join me to invite Chairman of Financial Supervisory Commission of Taiwan, Mr. Wellington Gu, to give us the opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Mr. Gu. 请大家以热烈的掌声欢迎顾主委。
师副院长、各位谈人、各位上市柜公司的先进，还有各位贵宾，大家早安，大家好。好。首先呢，感谢各位企业先进共参加第12届台北公司治理论坛。金管会从2003年办理公司治理论坛以来呢，今年已经是第12届。那公司治理论坛目前每2年召开一次，每届论坛呢都邀请全球专家来探讨公司治理发展的最新议题，广受好评。今年本会呢特别跟美国证管会 SEC 合作，共同举办了 SEC 区域交流的训练计划。在场呢除了从各国远道而来的讲师之外呢，也有3位 SEC 的讲师，请代表金管会热烈欢迎。金管会过去10几年来呢，在公司治理方面做了许多努力。除了2006年修正证交法，增订独立董事跟审计委员会相关规定，并且在2013年对外发布为期5年的强化我国公司治理蓝图，督导相关的单位完成，包括设置公司治理中心、办理公司治理评鉴、编制公司治理指数、公告企业社会责任报告书及发布我国机构投资人尽职治理守则等。推动公司治理改革也有一定的成果。在股东权益保障方面呢，今年上市柜公司的股东常会已经全面采逐案表决及电子投票，使议案表决透明化，来落实股东行动主义的执行。在董事会职能提升方面呢，目前上市柜公司已经全面设置独立董事，而且有超过半数的上市柜公司呢设置了审计委员会。在资讯揭露方面呢，截至今年8月底为止，已经有完成2017年企业社会责任报告书的上市柜公司，也达到了331家。为了进一步提升我国公司治理的水准，本会在今年的4月正式启动为期3年的新版公司治理蓝图，就是从2018年一直到2020。那么本次新版的蓝图呢，将朝深化公司治理跟企业社会责任文化，有效发挥董事职能，促进股东行动主义，提升资讯揭露品质，以及强化相关法令规章的遵循等5大计划项目推动。所以将推动期间由5年缩短为3年之外呢，相关重要的改革事项包括提升公司治理评鉴的效度，引进了公司治理人员制度，扩大 审计委员会及独立董事的设置，推动金融业落实股东行动主义，提高英文资讯揭露的比例，推动候选人提名制度等等。那金管会跟证交所的单位将以规划时程尽速推动，以利上市贵公司加以遵循。公司治理为时代必行的道路，企业在短期之内或许无法马上看到成果，但长远来说良善的公司治理将提升企业的经营价值，并使企业得以永续经营。建委在日前提出了金融发展行动方案，当中将公司治理列为重要的推动事项，希望借由行作公司治理文化来提升台股国际能见度，并因应国际投资人对公司治理的高标准要求，目标是将台湾打造成为一个具有前瞻性跟国际竞争力的金融市场。今天的论坛，我们将邀请行政院司副院长就公司治理更宽广的道路，跟标准普尔信用平等公司执行董事 Rico 先生以亚洲公司治理新方向，以信用平等观点探讨为题来进行专题研究。那在专题研讨的部分必将邀请国内外公司治理专家担任主持人，跟与谈人，以健全公司治理生态体系与董事职能提升及权责的合理化为题，透过对谈跟交流，希望能进一步深化上市柜企业对公司治理的认识，强化对公司治理的实践，以及提升我国公司治理水准。第12届公司治理论坛主要探讨议题，也跟金管会今年4月发布的新版公司治理蓝图相关措施息息相关，希望各位先进嘉宾都能够收获满满。最后，祝福各位与会贵宾身体健康，万事如意，谢谢大家，谢谢。
谢谢主委，请主委回座。Thank you very much to Chairman Gu. Please take your seat. 那么接下来呢，我们要邀请的是美国证券管理委员会波士顿分处的处长 Mr. Paul Levinson 上台致辞。Next, we would like to invite Director of the Boston Regional Office of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, Mr. Paul Levinson, to give us some remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Levinson.
Good morning. I'm Paul Levinson. I'm the director of the Boston Regional Office of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. I'm deeply honored to be able to join in today's discussion, and I look forward to learning from the panelists here today, as well as having an opportunity to share some of my own observations. And when I say my own observations, I mean exactly that. I must share our routine disclosure that the views that I'm expressing are my own. I'm not authorized to speak on behalf of the Securities and Exchange Commission or any of the individual commissioners or any of the other staff. I customarily add, though, that this disclaimer is important to me because I think these conversations work best when we can share candid views without fear of prematurely announcing an official position. I like to say that I'm happy to share my current thoughts, but if I'm persuaded that I'm wrong, I will change my position. I'm particularly honored to be part of a discussion of corporate governance. As a regulator of financial markets and an enforcer of the law in those markets, I see questions of corporate governance as a critical pathway through which all of our attempts to affect behavior in the markets must pass. We can be effective as regulators only insofar as companies are able and willing to implement policies that reflect our desired goals. And as enforcers of the law, our impact depends entirely on our ability to influence actual behavior. So it's not difficult to describe some of the key attributes of a robust corporate governance culture. responsibility, transparency, and independence are not difficult to recognize, nor are the benefits difficult to identify. Active, inventive, liquid, and dynamic markets with multiple opportunities, investor decisions driven by economic conviction, and orderly movements of capital. The challenge, of course, is how to promote such a culture. And this is a problem that defies easy answers. Government certainly has a role to play. Market participants and market pressures can also promote or discourage good governance. The internal corporate culture plays a major role, as does the history of markets and the history of investment in each country. I think it's fair to say that the current state of corporate governance in the United States is a product of all of these factors. There may be various points that have universal application, but other aspects are unique to the American experience. For example, we have a federal system in which certain critical aspects of corporate governance, including rights of minority shareholders, tend to be governed by state law, the law of Delaware, rather than part of our federal securities laws. It's also, much is owing to the unique culture and history of the United States, the great crisis of corporate responsibility at the end of the last millennium and the discovery of massive financial frauds in major corporations led to the Sarbanes-Oxley Act and a new approach to capturing certain aspects of governance and disclosure directly in our federal securities laws. Although the SEC has had many years of regulating securities markets, we've experienced a number of obstacles and made mistakes along the way. However, in many respects, the SEC and indeed the United States government altogether is only part of the equation. There's much that the government can do to create an environment that will foster good corporate governance and perhaps to punish bad governance. But the actual behavior takes place within the boards and management of the individual corporations. I do not believe that government alone can create all of the conditions in which good governance will flourish. Now, I'm very much looking forward to learning about your views on this matter, and I will be very happy to offer a few observations from my own experience this afternoon. But I'm especially proud to be here today representing the SEC. I'm proud because the mission of the SEC, the United States SEC, is a noble one. Our mission is described in 3 parts: to protect investors, maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets, and facilitate capital formation. Good corporate governance is intimately tied to each of these objectives. Finally, I'm honored to join Mr. Wellington Group in welcoming you to this program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wellington.